Good morning, visionaries. Welcome to our fourth episode of Magic Mondays. Welcome to the beginning of our week, Monday, September 9th, 2019. I'm so glad that you're here. I really am loving this time together. But I did also want to share that Mondays, but also mornings aren't super easy for me, as you may have noticed. My goal, here's my vision. Since we're visionaries, it's important to talk about our visions. My vision for Magic Mondays is that you will wake up, check your email like you're not supposed to, first thing, see in your inbox at whatever time you wake up that there's an episode waiting for you. Now, that would mean that I would need to get up earlier than I am. And I've been struggling with that. And maybe you struggle with mornings too, if we're really being honest. And I'm here to say that that's okay. And I listened to this brilliant podcast from Danielle Laporte over the weekend. And it caught my eye because it was about our relationship to mornings and how it's really important to assess the situation anytime, we're trying to do something big or make a change. It's really important that we address the resistance, that we address any blockages that could become like a roadblock in our path. So in our meditation today, I'm going to borrow some of her questions that she asked in the podcast. I'll also link to the podcast so you can listen to it yourself because it's beautiful. And I also want to introduce the work of Danielle Laporte. She's just an incredible spiritual leader and has really helped me on my journey. We're going to use some of her tools for sure. But I do want to spend a couple moments this morning really evaluating our relationship to mornings. So I think it's important for us to set up a foundation of, clear the path for all of us. Let's come inside. Let's find a comfortable seat. Sit up on your pillow, folded blanket. Sit up nice and tall, root down into your seat, neutralize the pelvis so the spine can grow long. Tuck the chin slightly, suspending from the tops of the ears and the crown of the head. Let the shoulders melt down the back. And then if your hands are on your thighs, find the sweet spot for them, for the placement of the hands on the thighs, so that you feel the sensation of the collarbones smiling open and the heart shining forward as we sit up nice and tall. So the shoulders are able to melt down the back. And just feel yourself supporting yourself with this inner strength, this support of the spine, the back. We've got to have our own back in order to shine and open the heart. So let's take a deep breath together. Fill the belly. Expand the lungs all the way. Hold at the top for 2 counts. 1, 2, and then exhale. Ha, H-A, ha. Now in your mind's eye, continue breathing into the belly. In your mind's eye, I want you to envision the home where you grew up in. Envision what mornings were like for you then. Try to remember any sensations that you felt. Remember how you were awoken and who woke you up. And what are some adjectives that come to mind for you around this time of day when you were small? How did the adults or caregivers around you greet the morning, greet the day? Maybe as these memories come into your awareness, you remember it was always cold. In my house, it was always cold. I didn't want to get out of bed. In our house, it was always rushed. There was frustration and anger and rushing. So my single mom tried to make lunches and breakfast and get us dressed and out the door on time to catch the bus. She had to get to work on time. So, by no fault of hers, I can remember being woken up nicely the first few times. Time to get up. And then the volume would increase, the agitation in my mom's voice would increase. So cold, agitated, felt like a hindrance. And that isn't how I wanted to start the day. You know, kids want to wake up and have time to play, ease into the morning, find some toys, maybe put on some music. So take yourself back in time, and no matter how your morning started, how do you wish it would have started? Maybe with a big hug. Maybe a parent would climb into bed with you and snuggle. Maybe there's animals to snuggle. What if there were prayers? What if there was a sun salutation? What if everyone went and got a warm beverage, like a hot cocoa for the kids, and we all gathered around some kind of altar and just had silent prayer time? Or maybe a caregiver would read something nourishing, creative, playful, a story, maybe a story from the Bible or some other sacred text. And then maybe there was time to roll around and play, pet the cat while breakfast was being made. Maybe lunches were prepped the night before and clothes were laid out. Maybe we all go out and have breakfast on the front porch in the sun, the cool breeze. Hear the birds, the sounds of the morning. Let's take a deep breath in, fill the belly. Exhale. Nice. You can float the eyes open to the space if you'd like. You can also keep the eyes closed. So just notice what came up for you. Maybe you want to journal and write on this after this episode. So the point is, for me, I came up with some really delicious and sweet imagery of how I wish my mornings were. I even brought a few tears to my eyes as I thought about, wow, how sweet and sacred mornings could be and how that was not my experience. So noticing that resistance, that energy is deep and it goes back a long way. And Danielle Laporte talks about this more in her episode. It's really beautiful. But so what we want to explore is how, now that we're adults, we can reparent ourselves and we can create this sweet and sacred morning, the sweet and sacred awakening for ourselves. We can bring prayers, we can bring affirmations. I've been writing down prayers and affirmations on my note cards, and it takes time to shift the brain and to shift that energy. So I kind of have to fake it till I make it and just read the note cards, even if I think what's written is bullshit. I have to just keep going until it rewires my brain. So I wrote this prayer today. Good morning. God, thank you for this day. Please continue your guidance and care even as I wake. Help me to know I am supported by the flow of life. Help me do your will always. So can we wake up and begin to trust that we're supported, to trust we're in the flow, to trust that we're exactly where we're meant to be, to trust that we're being guided and held, and that we're so loved by life and the universe. And we were created to make a change, to be a part of the evolution and awakening of this planet, of this human race. So I just invite you to consider these themes, these ideas, and to notice the resistance that's there with mornings and Mondays even. I don't know about you, but I am not excited to go to work today. I would love to stay in this dream space with you, put on a record, and just, have a luxurious morning. And that's a word that really resonates with me. To have the luxury of time to greet the morning with reverence and sacred prayer and play and music and movement. I'm visualizing the new place where I applied to live in this artist housing, and I'm waiting to hear. And I was visualizing putting on a record and just like moving around the space while my French press is brewing, So like all this is possible and more. When we really look at the truth of how our mornings are and how we'd like them to be together, we can support each other in this. So I think that's what all of us here want, is more fulfillment, more creativity, more alignment with our true self. So to that end, I would like to play you a song. On the road there's traffic, I try the back road tactic. Baby, without magic, I know I'm gonna cruise. 'Cause chaos is smaller and I'm standing taller. I know I won't falter when I take on life with you. We got nothing to lose in this you in my bed kind of morning. Gonna be a you in my head kind of day. Waking up to your kiss don't get better than this. Ain't nothing gonna stand in our way. Having a you in my bed kind of day. I don't feel alive at this 9 to 5, but I'll keep a smile on my face. In this you in my bed kind of morning. Gonna be you in my head kind of day. Waking up to your kiss don't get better than this. Nothing gonna stand in our way. Having a you in my bed kind of you in my head kind of day. Thank you guys so much for spending your Magic Monday with me. Blessings to you as we move through this week with lots of magic and healing and creativity and hopefully some sweetness. I love you. Thank you. Namaste.